The Digital Services Act, or DSA, is a piece of European legislation that affects a lot of different players in the internet ecosystem. It's essentially an update to the e-commerce directive of 2000 and lays out the rules and obligations to counter illegal and harmful content for online services and platforms, including online marketplaces, social networks, app stores, travel platforms, and more. It also has different rules and obligations for so-called online intermediaries, such as ISPs, search engines, and hosting providers. The European Commission announced its intentions for the DSA in 2020, and the RIPE NCC got involved in two ways. First, we responded to the Commission's questionnaire to explain how the proposal would affect the RIPE NCC's own operations and the way we manage online content, which focused on the RIPE mailing lists and our online blog, RIPE Labs. Second, we decided to write a position paper on the DSA proposal. As an organization that had contributed to internet development in Europe for nearly 30 years, we thought we could offer a high-level view to help give context to some of the ideas contained in the proposal. In this paper, we urged the European Commission to make a clear distinction between the internet's core technical layers and the applications and content that run on top of that core. Essentially, we wanted to make sure that there wouldn't be unintended consequences for the infrastructure layers of the internet, as the Commission sought to regulate illegal content online. We also argued that there needed to be a balance of responsibilities and liability between those identifying and asking for illegal content to be removed and those hosting the content, in order to prevent bad actors from abusing the rules and asking for legitimate content to be removed for their own personal gain. In addition, we also thought clearer definitions were needed around which service providers would be included in the liability regime. And finally, we advocated for a multi-stakeholder approach as the Commission sought to define these actors and terms so that the technical community could help arrive at the clearest definitions possible, based on a deep technical understanding of the internet's functioning. When the European Commission came out with its proposed text for the DSA in 2021, the RIPE NCC again contributed to that consultation. We were pleased to see that the Commission had drafted a balanced proposal, including important provisions to protect the public core of the internet and to establish proportionate thresholds for interfering with core functions, infrastructure, and service providers. The Digital Services Act was finalized and adopted by the Council and Parliament in 2022 and includes different obligations for online intermediary services depending on their size, role, and the impact they have on the overall internet ecosystem. It's impossible to know what influence we had on this significant piece of legislation, but contributing where and when we can to help educate policymakers is one of the key roles we play in the multi-stakeholder approach to internet governance. And as a member of the technical community, it's one of the key roles you can play too.